So, it happened. It actually happened. I do apologize if I sound a little ramblish or something. I am tired. I did work today. I drank a little bit of Starbucks to wake myself up. So I do, but I am still tired. So I do apologize. But as I was saying, it actually happened. I did a video before it happened where I entitled it "Edge is Elite or Not." I changed that title to "Edge is Elite," and I guess you could consider this a bit of a follow-up because. Yes, it is true. You see the evidence here. Adam Copeland, that's what he's going by, his real name, is All Elite. The only thing that he's retained, or the only things that he's retained that he could bring over to AEW is Metalingus by Alter Bridge. And he explained in the media scrum that basically when he first heard Alter Bridge play that, he asked, hey, can I use that for my theme? And the lead singer was like, yeah, no problem, go ahead. And once again, he called he called Alter Bridge, he called the lead singer of Alter Bridge and said, hey, I'm going to AEW, can I use Metalingus? And he said, absolutely. So there you go. So there you go. For anybody that's wondering how that's possible, it's not because Tony Khan bought the rights. No, it's because Edge was able to bring it with him. The other thing he was able to bring with him is the Rated R Superstar, I guess you could say nickname or something like that, or gimmick name, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, he was able to bring the Rated R Superstar tagline, slogan, if you will, that he's had in WWE with him, because apparently WWE did not retain the trademarks for it. And they let it lapse. So by letting it lapse, he was able to obtain it himself and bring it over to AEW. Now, with that said though, of course, there are people that are a little upset about this. I mean, overall, fans of all wrestling, casual, hardcore, in between, fans of all wrestling, let's be honest, they are happy about this. They are thrilled with this. They're not, angry one way or another. They're thrilled with this. They are thrilled with this, no matter, how others might feel about it. Why? Because it's good for business. Somebody even said on Twitter, or Twitter X, if you will, somebody even said, by using a comparison, that there is nothing wrong with, established talents that have been part of a company for so long to go elsewhere. They used the fact that in 1996, a lot of young WCW names had jumped over to WWF. While some established legendary WWF names had jumped over in 96, by 96 anyway, to WCW. And nobody batted an eye. Nobody was like, oh, they should have stayed WWF. Or they should have stayed WCW. No. Nobody batted an eye because it was exciting. It got people talking. It got people tuning in to see what's going to happen next. Also, for many of these superstars, during that time frame, it like what it's doing for people like Adam Copeland, it's rejuvenating their career. It's giving them one last jolt of adrenaline in their veins, to go out there and do what they love to do. That's why you see a lot of these men and women, make the jump from WWF or WWE to AEW or Impact to WWE or WWE to Impact and so on. That's why you see these people making these jumps, because they want a new, I guess you could say, they want to change an atmosphere. They want to change an atmosphere to, to kind of, give them, I guess you could say, recharge those batteries. Give them that one last, I guess as I put it, one last rush of adrenaline, that they could have before really hanging it up. That's why you see guys jumping, or guys and gals, I should say, jumping from WWE to AEW when their contracts are up, or when their 90 days or 30 days are up. That's why you see them going to AEW, because they see the opportunity to get their careers rejuvenated. That's why you see the same thing if they go from WWE to Impact, or WWE to New Japan, or WWE to MLW, or WWE to GCW. They do it because it allows them to get rejuvenated. It allows them to basically get that. I know I'm using the word a lot. Again, I do apologize. I am tired. But it allows them to get that adrenaline pumping in the blood again, so that if they decide down the line, hey, I want to go back to WWE, at least they can go back knowing that they have been rejuvenated, knowing that now, hey, we understand that what we became outside of WWE, that's what they expect there. They want that, maybe toned down, maybe toned up. It's up to when they return. That's why they do this. That's why they do this. They don't just do it because, I want to stick it to WWE, or I want to stick it to AEW. No. They do it because they want to rejuvenate their careers, so that if they do decide to go back to either company, they can go back realizing that, hey, what we've become outside of those companies with the competition or elsewhere, that's what they want. That's what they want. I mean, why do you think Jade Cargill went to WWE when pretty much people thought she was an AEW lifer? Huh? Why do you think she did that? It wasn't just because of the money. That's one thing though. But she did it because she wants to get better. She knows. She knows she's got a lot to learn. Yeah, she had a great teacher in Bryan Danielson behind the scenes at AEW along with others, the Nightmare Factory and all that. No problem. No problem. And that was just a notification going off on my computer. I do apologize. But she knew. She knew. She had a great teacher in Bryan Danielson and by extension the Nightmare Factory and others. But she even admitted herself in the interview with ESPN that going to WWE, she's allowed to expand on that with the Performance Center, and by being in the Performance Center with trainers just as good as Danielson, if not better. And I know people might say, "Oh, nobody's better than Danielson," and you have a right to your opinion. That's your right. But anyway, she realizes that her going to the Performance Center and working with people just as good, if not better than Danielson in training, it'll allow her to get just as good, if not better than what she was in the ring for AEW. Because she still has a lot to learn. She still has a lot to learn. And also she knows that with the machine that is WWE backing her the way they are, it's giving her another chance, at doing what obviously she wants to do, at what she's a fan of, at what she loves doing, and that's being in the ring performing. It's rejuvenating her career, which, let's be honest, was kind of on the downslope in AEW. And I don't think anybody could deny that. Adam Copeland here, Edge, he's doing the same thing. WWE didn't have no real direction for him for a while. The only real direction they had for him, this year was, ending his feud, coming out victorious in his feud with Judgment Day and by extension Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. And that was it. They didn't have any other plans afterwards. The only thing they had him do after that was get drafted to SmackDown, compete in a triple threat match for a shot at the World Championship, or being in the tournament for the World Championship, which he did not win. And then what did he do? He languished. And he just waited. He's like, well, they don't have me for SummerSlam. They don't have me booked for Money in the Bank. Which you think would be a foregone conclusion to book this guy in one of those events in some kind of a key match. They had him languish until finally it's like, okay, his contract's about to be up. Let's send him out, on a high note, because apparently everybody there behind the scenes at WWE, including I'm assuming Triple H, Vince McMahon, and all of them, they probably all knew he was heading out, gonna go be All Elite. So, they just say, hey, look, if that's what he wants to do, let him do it. He's done everything he could for us. He stayed with us when he could have jumped, years prior. Let's let him go out, against an opponent of his choosing and just go from there. And that's what happened. They let him go out with an opponent of his choosing in Sheamus in his hometown, and that was it. That was it. And they just waited to see whether or not he might decide, hey, I'll stay with you, I'll sign your extension, or if he would go all elite. And apparently he decided to go all elite. And by going all elite, it's allowing him, as some people put it, to have more leeway, more creative freedom than what he had in WWE. Yes, he had creative freedom. There's no doubt. I mean, you could see that. You could see that in his various programs, during his return, from retirement after a 9-year absence. You could see that. You could see that creative freedom. I mean, Judgment Day, the Judgment Day we see now, was originally his idea. It was originally his idea until they changed it for whatever reason. But the point is, and perhaps they changed it for the better, who's to say? But the point is, he had creative freedom. Excuse me. Sorry about that, the phone rang. But like I said, he had creative freedom. But now he's going to have more, leeway and creative freedom than he had in WWE. Because if there's one thing Tony Khan does allows the talent to do, is he allows them to have creative freedom, if not creative input, into storylines that they'll be part of. He allows that. I'm not saying WWE doesn't allow that. Depending on who books the damn show, it all depends. If Triple H books it, I'm assuming he does let creative input get put in by the superstars. And you could see that. You could see that. But Tony Khan is the kind of owner that, allows that, to happen all the time. He allows that creative freedom to flow. He allows that creative input to be heard. And to me, Adam Copeland is going to have that opportunity to, basically showcase that creative freedom, have that creative input, give creative input, and all that, and suggestions to the talent up and coming and established, as well as be able to showcase it himself, more so than he was in WWE. You don't think him and Christian, when they were feuding in WWE, you can't tell me that, yeah, they had some spectacular matches. Ladder matches, ladder matches, regular matches, no DQs, whatever. But you can't tell me that him and Christian felt like they were limited, right? So, what do you think is going through his mind right now? Knowing that his first major program is with Christian. Is with Christian in AEW. And pretty much Tony Khan is saying, hey, do what you guys got to do, to get people talking. If you want to get crazy, get crazy. If you want to get wild, get wild. You want to get more violent than you did than you ever could in WWE, get violent. If you want to get really rated R, get rated R. And he's going to have that opportunity to do so. He's going to have that opportunity to do so. And that's something people don't see. They don't realize. He's doing this because he wants to basically go out on his own terms. Now, does that mean he's abandoned WWE completely? No. WWE has come out and basically, after knowing he was going to probably go be all elite and then seeing it for themselves, reports are those in WWE are happy for him. They're thrilled he's getting this opportunity to, to go out and do his own thing, have this freedom. And they wish him nothing but the best and have said, hey, you left on good terms, doors always open. You can come on back, we'll insert you into whatever major program you want to be inserted to. And that's a no doubt brainer, that it's going to happen. It's a no doubt brainer it's going to happen, I should say. Because who knows how long Adam's contract is. It could be for a year. It could be for 2 to 3 years. We don't know. But apparently he's going to have a wish list on hand of matches and opponents and match styles he's going to want to compete in before that contract is up and before he heads back to WWE. If he does. And here's the thing, fans want to come out and say that he's a traitor, that he should have not left WWE, he's a WWE lifer and all that. here's what's crazy. You know, everybody says we are in this era, error of tribalism in wrestling with fans. You know, because fans nowadays feel like, oh, if you've been with WWE for so long, then you're only meant to be there and nowhere else. Or if you've been with Impact for so long, TNA, you're meant to be with them and no one else. Or if you've been with AEW since the beginning, you're meant to be with them and no one else. It's like you ask yourself, where did this mindset come from? Where did this mindset come from? I'll tell you where it came from. It came from the IWC, you know, the group of IWC fans that when they look at AEW and they see that it, just like it's Edge, you know, as Adam Copeland put it in the media scrum, reminds them of the indie style of wrestling, the Ring of Honor style of wrestling that was adapted from some of the style flips and kicks that you saw in MMA. You know, to them, if you're part of something like AEW that embraces that, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to go to WWE to, you know, try my talents there, to them, they view you as a traitor because they feel, oh, well, you're not going to be able to do your flips and kicks and do all this just like you did in AEW. You should stay in AEW because you can do the flips and kicks and have 60-minute audio matches that can make us have orgasms. You know, that's how they feel. Because they feel you're giving up something that would give them immense pleasure as an IWC fan, or mark, as people call them. And then the same with the WWE fans. They feel if you go to some place that embraces that, like AEW, like New Japan, like Impact, like MLW, you know, they feel you're a traitor. Because basically they'll be saying like, well, why would you want to go and, you know, to these companies that embrace that indie garbage style of wrestling? Why would you do that? You're giving up a safe, comfy place where you can perform, you can still do your flips and kicks, get a little hardcore here and there, but you're safe. You have a safety net. You have your insurance that you're going to be okay. You have medical doctors and stuff on that. It's like, you know, people feel that you're giving up a cushy office job by leaving WWE for someplace else. And that's how they feel about it. I mean, Adam Copeland. That's how the WWE lifers feel. I mean, WWE, you know, fans, you know, stains, marks, whatever you want to call them, diehards of the IWC. That's how they feel about Adam Copeland going to AEW. They feel he's giving up a cushy office job, you know, to go and basically allow himself to probably have his career come to an end, and at the hands of somebody that's nothing but a mark and not an owner. Well, others, the AEW marks, the AEW stains, the Impact marks, the Impact stains, MLW marks, MLW stains, New Japan marks, New Japan stains, if you will. You know, they feel that if any of their people leave for WWF or WWE, that basically they're giving up their, you know, freedom. They're giving up their style of reckless abandon, you know, flips and kicks, hard hitting, strong style wrestling, hardcore extreme style, barbed wire tacks and all that wrestling for a cushy office job, which is gonna make them fat and lazy. No, none of that is true. None of that is true. And you know why? Because what these men and women are doing is giving themselves another lease on life. Whether you agree with that decision or you don't. And that's what Adam Copeland has done. Adam Copeland coming out at the media scrum and saying AEW reminds him of indie shows isn't a shot at AEW to downgrade it. No. He's saying that because when he used to be on indie shows, basically the environment, the atmosphere, the freedom that he once felt before going to WWE, you know, he felt that in AEW. He saw that in AEW. And that's attractive to anybody. Like, oh, shoot. Would I want to have this cushy office job where I'd be limited in what I can do? Or would I like to be part of, you know, something that still lets me do what I love to do, you know, and not really change much? I'm just saying, I mean, what would be your choice? What would you choose? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? And it's like they just, it's like they hear that from Adam Copeland, and they don't realize that he's not downgrading AEW by saying that. He says that basically because that's what attracted him. That's what attracted the likes of Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, CM Punk. That's what attracted them. That familiarity of the indie style that they used to be part of. Or they used to be part of and used to be fans of even when they worked for WWE. That's what attracted them. So that they can get back to the roots in which they started their careers in. As well as give back to the business, give back to the fans, give back to the up-and-coming talent. Now, when it comes to the AEW talent that goes to WWE, yeah, like I said, those fans, just like the Impact fans and, Impact marks, stains, whatever you want to call them, tribalisters, whatever. Yeah, do they get upset when their talents go to WWF? Of course they do. Because they don't think they'll get treated well, and they're going to get fat and lazy by taking on this, cushy office job, instead of being able to do, what they love to do, the flips and the kicks and wrestle and all that. And it's like, really? Is that your belief? Is that how you feel? Again, you listen to what Jade Cargill said in that interview. She knew what she was doing. Brian Pillman Jr. knows what he's doing. People need to get this out of their head. They need to get this belief out of their head. This new generation. They need to get it out of their head that just because a man or a woman that used to be associated mostly with one company for so long is now part of another company does not mean they are giving up who they are. It does not mean they are traitors. It means they are basically giving themselves another leash on life. They are giving themselves another opportunity to shine. They're giving themselves another opportunity to be rejuvenated. And that's what Adam Copeland has done going to AEW. That's what Jade Cargill is doing, being part of WWE and training at the Performance Center. And that's what Brian Pillman Jr. is doing right now with WWE, when he goes and be part of the NXT brand. People need to get this mindset, that when you start your career, in one place like AEW, that's where you're always meant to be. No. That's not true. Same with, if you started your career right off the bat with WWE, that's where you're meant to be. No, that's not true. You could go wherever you want when you get the opportunity. But yeah, a lot of these new generation fans, these IWC marks and stains that just do not understand the history of the business when it comes to this kind of stuff, do us a favor. Do us all a favor. Tune into Peacock. If you have the Peacock, service, bring that up. Bring that Peacock service up. Go to the WWE section and check out all the Monday night Monday Night Raws and Monday Night Nitros, doing 95 to 99 to 2000, and tell me what you see, there that's any different from here, that didn't have people complaining and crying and whining about traitorism. You tell me. What you see. Because honestly, what I saw back then, because I grew up in that, I saw excitement. I saw people tuning in, wanting to watch Nitro every week to see who would show up next. I saw people wanting to tune into Raw every week to see who would show up next. I didn't see people going like, oh, that person shouldn't have left WCW. They're a WCW lifer. That person shouldn't have left WWF. They're a WWF lifer. I didn't hear or see any of that, even at school. What I saw was people talking about how exciting things were getting and popping off. So do me and everybody else a favor. Tune on Peacock. Look at those, episodes if I'm 95 to 2000, and tell me what you see. But guys, that's all I'm going to say for now. Let me know what your thoughts are. And until then, I am out.